Right, we're here with Karl Harrison, former player,
Can I
coach. Yeah. So we'll get you to speak later. Former coach, player, current agent, rugby league figure. Karl, starting off, just how did you get into the game? You grew up in Leeds, born in Leeds.
No, Leeds born and bred.
Yep.
I'm a football fan all my life. The mighty Leeds United.
Yep.
And only got into rugby through chance when I went to high school, which was a rugby school, Morley High School, which was a rugby union school.
Yep.
So me not knowing the difference between rugby union and rugby league, I went to join the local rugby club as well, which was a rugby league. So that was it. So I played for Driglington as an amateur club, which is the village I'm from, and Morley High School to rugby union, and that's how I got into the game.
And you broke in with Bramley. How did you go in terms of getting into a professional career, and was it just something that just happened? You just started playing as a kid, and
I just came through the junior systems. I always played for one of the smaller teams in Leeds. I'm the same age as people like Gary Schofield and all these. So they were always, Unslip Parkside, they were always the premier team in Leeds. So I never even played for Leeds and districts or anything. So I was lucky I sort of came through the back door into the pro game. And I got in because somebody called Maurice Bamford, a Britain coach, gave me a chance. He liked what he saw and gave me a chance, and signed me at Bramley for their Colts team. Played a couple of games there and I got promoted very quickly.
And you started off there, and you had spells at Featherstone, Hull, Halifax, Hull again. What was it?
One of the most important things part of my development was because Maurice knew I had a little bit of talent, even if I didn't know at the time. He arranged it for me because obviously we used to play in the winter, so we go overseas in the summer.
Yep.
He sent me to Point Chevalier in the Auckland League.
What was that like?
Oh, strange. It was just strange. I'd never been out of probably Leeds before in my life. I ended up going to New Zealand and playing a close season there and absolutely loved it. I went a boy and came back a man, and that really made me as a player.
Playing in the pack against Maoris and Polynesians, that would be an eye-opener.
My first game was Otara away. I think I was the previous white man who had been there before me was Captain Cook. And they were all amazed when the spy turned up. But yeah, it was a good experience. I was 18 years old, and I would recommend that to anybody.
And you had a very long career, obviously a premiership winner in 91. I mean, what was the highlight of your playing days? In Great Britain and England as well.
Obviously, but my Test debut against Australia in 1990 at Wembley, where we beat them. Winning the premiership with LFC. I loved the LFC club. It was a great time. Brian Smith was the coach, and then he left, and Noel Keel became coach. And Brian went back to St George, and we just had something special there. But unfortunately, down to money, whatever, the club hit sort of hard times, and I moved on to Halifax, where I thoroughly enjoyed my time as a player, and lately a coach as well.
And you played a lot of games for Great Britain and England. I mean, what was and you're also playing in a Great Britain team, which was a great team that had a lot of success. What were the highlights for there?
Obviously, winning in Melbourne.
Yep.
In a famous Test in the Rain in Melbourne. But I played 14 times for Great Britain, 8 times for England. I did okay for somebody who was got into the game by chance. I worked extremely hard, but every time I pulled that jersey on, whether it be the white or the white, blue and red for Great Britain, it just sent special feelings through my body, and just give everything I had. Every time I played, I just gave everything I had.
And a World Cup final in '95, and you lost by 8 points. What are your memories of that game?
Disappointing. Obviously, I thought we'd probably done enough in the game to get a result, but that was the time. The early '90s. That was in '95. My Test debut was in 1990, right through '95. We were probably the closest to Australia we'd ever been for 30, 40 years.
Yep.
I remember in 1990 we got beat by Malmeninga, 14 seconds to go to win in the Ashes at Old Trafford. Then we got beat in Lang Park on the Lions tour in '92. I think it was about 10-6 in the third Test. Losing the World Cup final after dominating the competition. it was disappointing because I thought, we were pretty close then. There was not a great deal between the top Aussies and the top British people then.
And that's probably been the best team since. We're talking from now to then.
Yeah.
Everyone talks a lot these days about bringing back Great Britain in terms of the tours. Would you like to see, as someone who went on those tours, would you like to see that, or do you think that's sort of something to pass?
Greatest experience
Yep.
of any player's life. 13 weeks tour from New Guinea, Australia, New Zealand.
Yep.
To represent the nation, not just your country but the nation.
Yeah.
Very, very proud, and I think, it works in Rugby Union. It's a massive,
every 4 years.
It's a massive thing in Rugby Union,
Yep.
is the Lions tour, and we should do something very similar. And I understand the reason behind it, why we split up, because of funding streams and this, that and the other, but if we want to advance this great game, we need to bring the Lions back.
Yeah. And obviously you retired in 1999. Was there any particular reason, or you'd had a long career? Was it just
I was broken.
your body? Yeah, your body
broken.
was telling you.
I
Yep.
probably played one season too long.
Yep.
So the probably big little sharks will tell you, my last club. The 1998, the previous year of that, we finished third in Super League with Halifax. And I left at the end of the season. I was offered a 1-year deal at Hull just to try and stabilise the club.
Yep.
And it wasn't a great time to be at that club. I wish I'd been there now, because they're going really well at the moment, but then in '99 it wasn't a great place. It was the end of the David Lloyd era, and there was money issues, and it just wasn't a good place. The team wasn't good, there was a poor culture around the place, and I didn't really enjoy my last season as a player, which is disappointing because I played a lot of years.
Yeah.
So 1982 to 1999 is a long, long time.
Yeah, those kind of careers are very rare
In the middle.
these days. Yeah.
I've never missed a game.
Yeah.
80 minutes every game.
Yeah, it's a different game today. And you got into coaching pretty quickly. Straight up,
yeah.
How did that? Did you have a plan, or was just?
I'd always coached.
Yep.
From back at Halifax, we used to coach schools, the schools competition.
Yep.
I was still playing at Halifax. I always did a little bit with local teams and what have you. And then it was becoming knowledge within the game that I was retiring, 35-year-old at the end of that season, and Abby Kuku had just taken on the Keithley's chief executive job, and he just phoned me part of the low and said, "Listen, would you want to coach this team next year?" To be honest, I never thought about it. I didn't even know what I was going to do next season. I've not thought about it. No sort of career planning. So nothing else. I said yes. So I left LFC on the Sunday night after the last game of the season and started with the Keithley the day after. And that's made it up to now.
Yeah.
Loved it at Keithley. A really, really good 12 months there. Just missed out on getting to the final. Got beat by Dewsbury in the semi. But after that season, I was approached by Brian Noble to join the Bulls staff, which I just thought, if I'm going to be a professional coach, I've probably got to go to the best organisation at that time to learn. And the Bulls wasn't. It was the start of something special.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a
Not
special
just for
time.
Me, not just for me personally, but for the old Bradford Bulls organisation.
Special time for the Bulls, and a lot of success there.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great people involved who are still involved with the game now. They were all on the playing front then. McDermott's, Anderson's, Lowes, great players. Obviously Brian Noble's still involved, I'm still involved. Steve McNamara, there's still a lot of people from that year 2000 still heavily involved within the game, which is a long, long time ago.
And you obviously had a lot of, you were under a lot of great coaches as a player, your Malcolm Rileys, the Brian Smiths. Was there a particular coach that when you became a coach in your style, did you sort of take bits and pieces from different people, or did you have a particular...
Bits from different people. And I changed my style quite a bit too.
Yep.
I certainly mellowed as I got older. When I left Bradford to go to Salford, I must have been a proper pig. But I had to change the culture of the place and put a stamp down on the place, pretty quickly. And I ran that place like it was Alcatraz prison. Nobody could do anything, but it worked. And we put a culture in place, and we ended up through hard work, finishing 5th with Salford.
With the smallest
with a
boys.
salary cap of about £2.50. We did okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, looking at those years at Salford, it sounds like they were massive highs and lows because obviously they were relegated, you got them promoted, you finished fifth, and then obviously you got the axe in the end as well. So you had everything.
That was because of injuries.
Yep.
In between that, I coached England as well for 2 years. Well, I was sole coach at Salford, I coached England, which was, again, a different honour as well. But I was disappointed to get sacked at Salford, and that proper mentally hurt me. Because I'd done a really good job there for 5-6 years. With no resources whatsoever, all limited resources. That's not fair on the people who run the club. It was tough times, but because of injuries, we ended up getting beat. I remember the last game away, like it was yesterday, Catalan Dragons away, which has been the haunting ground of many a coach. We went there with probably an academy team and got well and truly rolled, and I was sacked.
That must have been a bit of, with the considering the success you had there, it must have been a bit of build-up.
It was horrible because I just signed a new contract the year before that as well, by through finishing fifth. You cannot legislate in this sport for small squads and injuries.
And it's even more ruthless.
As we find it now in the current times.
Yeah.
Last year's top team and the bottom team.
Yeah. Paul Anderson the other week,
Last year's top 3 team, bottom team.
How did you manage coaching England and Salford at the same time?
It was a part-time rep role at the end of the season, so we had David Waite put all the systems in place. It was really good for the development of up-and-coming coaches inside, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, the rep coaching side of it. And all the players now I was coaching, I was doing the merge in England. Because I think it was still Great Britain then. I think Tony Smith was the Great Britain coach. Or it might have been Brian Noble actually.
Yeah, it was the separation.
And I was the England coach. So I was getting people like Rob Burrows and Ben Westwoods and all the up-and-coming superstars.
And the young players at the time.
Absolutely genius it was. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, Russia, France, all over the place with them. Fantastic experience.
Yeah. And after Salford, you did go to Batley. Did you have some time out of the game?
I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't get back in. Unfortunately, if you're an English coach and you get sacked, you're classed as a failure. And I fell out with the game.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you, it proper hurt me. My phone stopped ringing and nobody called me. And I got my life back as well, to be honest. I started doing things I enjoyed doing, like football. And it was while I was away at Leicester City watching Leeds United. I think it was Easter Monday. My brother, who's the CEO at Batley, phoned me and said, "Listen, we're struggling at Batley. We've got to let Gary Thornton go. Could you look after the place for a month and we find somebody else?" I said, "Well, I don't really want to, but I'll come and meet you tomorrow." So I met him the day after, and I agreed to do it for a month and a month only. And 3.5 years later, I was still. But I enjoyed it. That was fantastic club.
And you won the club's first trophy in 80, 90 years.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the best. That's probably the pinnacle of my rugby career.
Really? As a player as well?
I played in premierships, played in test matches, played in World Cup finals, coached in World Cup finals. Yeah. That was probably the pinnacle, the most exciting and the most jubilant I've ever felt of any rugby league game. Little Batley beating Widnes Vikings in the Premiership final. It was huge. It was just huge for the whole time. And people might think, well, it was only 8 hours. It doesn't matter how many. What it meant to the people of Batley was unbelievable. And that will live with me forever.
And Halifax was the next nation job,
Yeah. I've always wanted to coach Halifax.
Obviously,
I've been a past player, and unfortunately, I'm one of the Hall of Famers there. That's not through my choice, by the way. I just try to play well every week, but started off really, really well, Halifax, and then for whatever reason, just lost its way a little bit. Momentum of what we were doing was changed. I had to cut budgets, losing out on better quality players, and I think we just got tired of one another. in hindsight, I probably did make a mistake leaving Batley.
Yeah.
Where I was under no pressure whatsoever, but I'd always wanted to coach Halifax. And I did enjoy Halifax. I had 2.5, really, 2 and 3/4 really good years at Halifax.